For the BraveSpace workshop, we were functioning very much in silos. Our team has been charged with creating an environment where we are moving toward a goal with teams that we're not responsible for the work product. We look to BraveSpace to help us break down some of those silos and help to create a wider collaboration and communication among those members. Before the workshop, that was very difficult. We had a lot of old history coming into relationships, and the thought process that we do what we do, the way we do with the team members that we do. After the BraveSpace workshop, we've seen a heightened level of collaboration, almost to the point where leaders across the organization are now actively seeking other members to become more familiar with their workflow products so that we can collaborate more effectively across the board. BraveSpace training was a completely different experience altogether. A traditional training has been largely ineffective in making a difference in culture. The difference in BraveSpace is it gets to culture almost immediately and has a lasting effect. I was surprised in our workshop at how vulnerable people allowed themselves to be. The openness of the participants and the people on our team, I was surprised to see folks that historically in my relationship with them and my attempts to bring them out or collaborate or communicate have been met with resistance, and in the workshop those resistance mechanisms just melted. It was super surprising how vulnerable people allowed themselves to be in that BraveSpace.
You may have just answered it, but how do you think that methodology, how does it get people there? I mean, how does this work?
I think it's a great question, Christy. I think that people see reaction from other people. The first person steps out into the room and says, I'm going to allow this process in. I'm going to be part of this group. Then the second person does, then the third person does, and then 10 people do, and then the room is functioning. It really was almost a work of art or dance. It felt like a dance happening in the room. One person started leading, and the next thing you know, the whole group is moving in unison and actually just opening up. It was like watching a flower open. After our BraveSpace workshop, there were people talking that had never spoken to one another before. Since the workshop, I have seen folks in areas that I've never seen grace into new aisles and new people and new relationships. Immediately following our BraveSpace workshop, I received a dozen emails from people that had never reached out before saying that it was the most worthwhile exercise they've ever done in a corporate environment. They really enjoyed it, and it's created a lot of collaboration that I didn't see before we got started.